Ever feel like your brain is a leaky bucket? You pour in hours of studying, and by the next day, it's almost all gone? Well, what if I told you there's a better way? We're about to dive into 5 powerful secrets backed by science and perfected by Japanese students that will completely change how you learn and remember things. Let's get into it.
So, does this sound familiar? You're highlighting pages, you're rereading your notes, maybe you even pull an all-nighter. And then, poof. When you actually need the information, it's just not there. It is so frustrating. But here's the good news. It's not you, it's the method. And I'm not just guessing here. The science actually backs this up. Within just 24 hours, you could forget up to 70% of everything you just learned. Think about that. That's most of your hard work just vanishing into thin air. But again, this isn't about how smart you are. It's about a flaw in the system we're all taught to use. Okay, so here's the big difference. Traditional studying, rereading and highlighting, it's totally passive. It feels like you're doing something productive, but you're really just tricking your brain. It sees the information and thinks, oh yeah, I know this, but it's just a false sense of familiarity. The Japanese methods we're talking about, they're active. They force your brain to get off the couch and actually work, building real solid connections.
So, to win this fight, you first have to know your enemy. And the number one villain in the story of your memory is a scientific principle called the forgetting curve.
Look at this thing. It basically shows how our memory of new information just nosedives if we don't do anything to hold on to it. And the scariest part? Look how steep that drop is right at the beginning. That's why that first day is so critical. This is the invisible force that's been sabotaging all your hard work. All right, so how do we fight back against that curve? Our first weapon is what I like to call the samurai approach. The scientific term is active recall, and the whole idea is to strengthen your memory by pulling information out, not just cramming it in.
This quote just nails it, right? We spend all our time focused on input, reading, listening, watching, but the real growth, the real strength, comes from output. It comes from making your brain retrieve the information. Every time you struggle for a moment to remember something, that's not a failure. That's a mental push-up. You're literally making that memory stronger. And how do you do it? It's so simple. After you read a chapter or study a concept, just shut the book, put your notes away. Then grab a blank sheet of paper and try to explain it all in your own words. It's going to feel hard at first, and that's the point. That little bit of struggle is exactly what forges a memory that lasts.
Now for our next secret. This one is built on a really profound idea. Small, consistent efforts lead to absolutely huge results over time. This is the philosophy behind 2 Japanese principles you may have heard of, Kumon and Kaizen.
You probably know this idea from the book Atomic Habits. It's not about some heroic all-night cram session. It's about getting just 1% better every single day. It sounds like nothing, but that tiny improvement compounds on itself, leading to unbelievable growth down the line.
And look how simple this can be. This isn't about adding hours of studying to your already busy day. We're talking about a focused 6-minute routine. Just 2 minutes of active recall, 2 minutes of spaced repetition, which we'll get to next, and 2 minutes of practice. It's a tiny daily investment with an absolutely massive payoff.
This brings us perfectly to our 4th secret, and it's the ultimate tag team partner for active recall. It's called spaced repetition, but I think a better name for it is the gardener's technique for your brain. So, think of your memories like little plants in a garden. You can't just water them once and walk away, right? You have to keep watering them right before they start to dry out. This timeline shows you the perfect schedule for watering your brain. You review the information at just the right moment, just as you're about to forget it. And each time you do, at these longer and longer intervals, you make that memory stronger and more permanent.
Okay, we've got the techniques, but let's be real. None of this works if you're distracted. And that's where our final, crucial secret comes in. Shuchu. It's the Japanese art of deep, intentional focus. You see, real learning requires you to be fully present. And you can actually create this state of shuchu with some simple rituals. Have one spot where you only study. Put your phone in another room. Seriously. Maybe you light a candle or always use the same pen. These aren't just quirky habits. They are powerful signals that tell your brain, okay, pay attention. It's go time. This is important.
So there you have it. We've talked about the villain, the forgetting curve, and our heroes, active recall, Kaizen, spaced repetition, and shuchu. All the tools you need to completely change the way you learn are right here, in your hands.
The biggest takeaway here is that learning doesn't have to feel like you're pushing a giant boulder up a hill only to watch it roll back down every single morning.
When you switch from that passive, brute force approach to an active, strategic one, learning becomes what it's supposed to be: smart, efficient, and honestly, way more satisfying.
So, it all comes down to a simple choice. You can go back to the old, frustrating cycle of cramming and forgetting, or you can pick just one of these methods, just one, and try it out today. The power to learn smarter isn't some far-off secret anymore. It's yours. What are you going to do with it?